Hello students, good morning. Today we will see about arrays in Java. Java arrays. What are arrays? Array is a collection of variables of same type. Collection of variables of same data type. And this will be stored consecutively or continuously in memory. So the concept is that if I want to store 10 integer values, then I need 10 variables. If I need to store 10 values, I need 10 variables. So A1, B1, C1 or A1, A2, A3, etc. we can give variable names. But for processing it becomes difficult. If we want to add the values of these variables, then we have to add A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus etc. Or like that, the processing will be difficult. And also the variables will not be stored continuously in RAM. Okay, it can be continuously allotted, but it may not be. It is not compulsory that the allocation is continuous in the case of random variables. Means A, B, C, D, etc. different variables. If you are giving, then the allocation will not be continuous. Then what is the advantage of this continuous allocation? It makes processing or accessing fast. How it is possible? If I have an array or if I have an array which is stored continuously of a size 1000, and when I access the first location of the array itself, that block will be brought to cache memory, and whenever the array is accessed, it will be available in the cache memory. So if the array is accessing frequently, then that array always resides in the cache memory, and so processing will become fast. Okay. The other advantage is that we need to remember only one name. That is, if I am declaring an array in the name of Mark, then the syntax will be mark 1000. Mark in square brackets, it is 1000. It means that we have an array with variable name Mark, but it is spread over 1000 locations with array indices mark 0, mark 1, mark 2, etc. etc. So I need to remember only one name as Mark. Mark is the array name, and the first mark is stored in mark 0, second mark is stored in mark 1, next mark is stored in mark 2, etc. etc. So the advantage of this array is that we need to remember only one name. And also the accessing is fast since it is stored continuously in memory. Okay, so we will see how to create arrays in Java, and the syntax of this array creation is like this. That is, if I want to declare an array int marks, so marks is the array name, then opening closing brackets of square brackets, int marks equal to new int of size. So this is the syntax for declaring an array in Java. marks is the array name, and we are allotting 100 integer places to the array marks. So these variables will be allotted continuously in memory in RAM as marks 0, marks 1, etc. So marks 0 is the first location, then marks 1 is the second location, etc, etc, etc. It goes up to marks 99. Okay, so we have 100 locations stored in this array. Okay, we have 100 locations stored in this array. So we need to remember only one name as marks. The first mark will be stored in mark 0, second in marks 1, and etc, etc in up to marks 99. So these are integer variables stored contiguously in RAM, which can store 100 integers. Okay, and this can be this array can be declared using two lines also, that is int marks, then marks is equal to no int of 100. So it can be done as two separate steps. While using classes, we can make use of that logic. We can declare the name of the array in the class variable, and we can allocate memory in the constructor. So we will see an example which is typed in here. The program name is okay. So we can see an example here. This example shows an array. Class ARR is the class name and also the program name, as we know. So I have declared an array int a, square brackets, opening closing brackets. So it indicates that a is an array and whose memory will be allotted later. I is a variable, string name, and inside this constructor I am allocating memory to the variable a or array. A is equal to no int of 10. Okay, so this is a one-dimensional array. So a is equal to no int of 10 means a of 0 to a of 9 we have 10 variables. Okay. Then I am initializing values to this array like this. I is equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, a of I. You have only one dimensional array. So a of I is equal to, I have given as I, or I can give I into I. Okay. So why we are using this I here? Because first time I is equal to 0. Then the value of a of 0 is initialized as, again I into I is 0. So a of 0 is 0. Then a of 1 is 1 into 1. So a of 1 is 1. A of 2 is 2 into 2, that is 4. A of 3 is 9. Like that we have initialized the array just for an example. So this array contains values 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, etc, etc, up to 81. I think. Okay, 9 up to I is equal to 9, that is 81. And this is the display portion. And here also I am using this a of I is printed, and in main function we have declared an object ARR. A is equal to new ARR. I am creating an object in the name of A, and so while executing this statement, what happens is that the constructor executes, and so memory for the array is allotted and the values are initialized to the array while the execution of this constructor, and while display it displays the values of the array. Okay, so we will see output of this. So it is Java C arr dot Java. Okay, and execution is Java arr. Okay, so we have the values 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, etc., etc., up to 81. So this is very simple. So we are declaring an array like this, int a, opening closing brackets. You can see the other variable, int I. So I is a single variable, while a is an array whose size will be given later. Okay, so a is equal to new int. We cannot give the value here because memory allocation cannot be done inside this while declaring class variables. So during constructor execution, memory is allotted to the array a, and we have initialized the array operation, symbol operation, as storing the values to the variable a, to the array a. Then it is displayed using this again simple logic, I equals 0. So this is the point where the processing becomes easy processing. So we have the advantage of array as easy processing and fast processing. Fast processing I have explained about, related to that cache memory. Easy processing means I can use different loops. I can use different loops like this, I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. By using these loop variables, I can process the array. Okay, that's why we call the term as easy processing. Okay. This single statement, it will process all these. A of 0 equal to 0, a of 1 equal to 1, a of 2 is equal to 4. So this is the power of this array and these loops. Okay, so this array can be traversed using these loops. So we have seen the output of this, and this is how we create one-dimensional arrays in Java. Now we can think about a two-dimensional array in Java. Think of a two-dimensional array in Java, and what is that? It will be like a matrix. Okay, or we can relate this one-dimensional array as a single queue. You can imagine about an assembly, a school assembly. So there the first standard students, who are of 20 numbers, are standing on a line. That is first boy, second boy, third boy, fourth student, etc., etc. We have 20 students. So it is a single dimensional array. You can think about two-dimensional array as a multiple classes are standing at different rows. So the first row will be having the class 1 students, then the second row will be having the class 2 students, and this is the logic of this two-dimensional array. So Java supports multi-dimensional arrays. So this is about two-dimensional array. So by using two-dimensional array, we have to a slight difference only. We have to use two square brackets. This is the way we are declaring a two-dimensional array. So in that real example, if you want to pick out or name a student in a position, we will be using this second row fourth boy. This is the same logic. We are accessing this array, second row fourth boy as fourth location. So we have to give two values for addressing. First is for row address, second is for column address. So here also I have to give two values to the. So this array is now having 10 rows and 10 columns. So it will be having 100 size. 10 rows and 10 columns means 100 elements can be stored in this single dimensional array, in two dimensional array. This same thing can be done using int a100, int 100, because the queue will be becoming very long of 100. If we are using this type of syntax, it means that arranging it in a matrix form or a row column format. So here also I have given the taken a simple example of this. So here I would like to store elements in this array. We have 100 elements. So for traversing a row we need one for loop, and for traversing the column we need the other for loop. We will remove the brackets. For single line there is no need to have a bracket. So inside this I am giving another for loop. For j is equal to 0, j less than 10, j plus plus. So we have one more variable called j. I am giving it here also, I comma j. Okay, for j is equal to 0, j less than 10, j plus plus. I am using aij equal to, and I can give the value here. The value can be anything. So I am giving I into j here. For getting some value, I am getting I into j. I need to store some value only. So I am giving I into j. And so this first time this I will be 0, j will be 0. So aij means a00 equal to 0 into 0, 0. Second time j will be incremented, j is the inner loop. So a01 equal to 0 into 1, 0. Again j increments up to 9. When j is 10, the outer loop works. So I is equal to 1 now. Then j restarts from 0, and again the same process. So we can see what is our output. So this is how we initialize a two-dimensional array. This is how we declare a two-dimensional array. Okay. Then for display also I need this same logic. I am taking copy of this. Pasting this. aij has to be printed. Okay. Okay, we'll see what is the output. Java C. Oh, arrays errors. Void display. Line number 13. Okay, we have not closed the function brackets, so we need to close the function brackets. Then display open, display is open, display is closed. Then public static void main arr a is equal to new array a dot display. Okay. So we will see what is the output now. Try to compile Java C. Again errors are there. I have to correct it. Void display line number 13 we have error. Again we have error. It is say that. Okay, we will try. Okay, it was not saved, that's why error came. So now we want to execute that Java ARR. Okay, so this shows the output, but we have not arranged the output in a row column format. That's why it goes like this. So we will arrange this row column format. So during display I want to see this elements in single line till the end of one loop. So I am using system.out.print only. Print ln means after printing it goes to next line. So I am keeping print only here, and after each printing we need a space, and so I am giving a /t there. So after each element we have a space, and after the first row printing we need a new line. So I am using system.out.println. Okay, it goes to new line. Okay, we'll see what happens. And this is the closing of the first for loop. This is the closing of the second for loop. So we need to give brackets also. So I am giving brackets. It is saved now. I'll try to compile. Okay. Okay, now we have the output in rows and column format. So this output belongs to that line which have j equals 0, and for the first element each time we have this j is 0 and we have got this 0. Okay, this is the concept of two-dimensional array. The only thing we need to understand is that, since we are experts in C++, is that while declaring array we need to follow the syntax, and while allocation we need to follow the syntax. Okay, so this is about the arrays in Java, one-dimensional and two-dimensional. We can increase the dimensions as we need. If we want to use three-dimensional array, we can use a three-dimensional array also. Just expand these brackets. Okay, so that's about these arrays. Okay, see.